Hello, little dreamers. Welcome to our magical bedtime story time. Tonight, we have a very special Halloween adventure waiting for you. Get cozy under your blankets, close your eyes, and let your imagination take you to a wonderful place where friendship and kindness create the most powerful magic of all. Are you ready for an amazing journey? Let's begin our story called The Midnight Scoop. Once upon a time, in a cozy little town called Willowbrook, Halloween night was the most magical night of the year. Orange jack-o'-lanterns smiled from every porch, glowing like friendly faces in the darkness. Purple and orange ribbons danced in the autumn breeze, and colorful lights twinkled like stars between the houses. Children in bright costumes walked happily from house to house, their candy bags getting heavier with each stop. The golden streetlights made everything look warm and safe, while a big silver moon watched over everyone like a gentle guardian. Three best friends had just finished their trick-or-treating adventure. Emma, with her curly auburn hair decorated with orange Halloween ribbons, bounced excitedly as she held up her heavy candy bag. Ben, wearing his favorite blue superhero shirt and red cape, showed off his treats with a big, proud smile. And Riley, with her long blonde braids full of colorful beads, carefully looked through all the wonderful candy they had collected. Emma said excitedly, "This was the best trick-or-treating ever!" "My bag is so heavy," Ben agreed happily. "Mine too, but I'm not ready to go home yet." Riley smiled and added, "Me neither. Halloween night feels too magical to waste sleeping." As the three friends stood on the corner, something amazing happened. At the very end of Maple Street, where there used to be just an empty lot with tall grass, a beautiful purple light began to glow. The light grew brighter and brighter, swirling like magical mist. Emma pointed ahead with wonder in her eyes. Ben's mouth dropped open in amazement. Riley rubbed her eyes, thinking she might be dreaming. But no. Right before them, a wonderful ice cream shop was appearing out of nowhere. The shop had rainbow-colored windows that sparkled like jewels, and a sign that read, "The Midnight Scoop," in glittering letters. Emma whispered in amazement, "Wait, do you guys see that strange purple light?" Ben gasped, "Whoa, there's something glowing where the empty lot used to be." Riley wondered aloud, "It looks like, is that an ice cream shop?" The magical ice cream shop looked both wonderful and mysterious. Rainbow frost patterns danced across its windows, and tiny sparkles floated around the purple glowing door. Riley felt a little nervous about going inside a shop that had appeared from nowhere. She said carefully, "Should we really go in? It's midnight, and this place wasn't here before." But Emma, being the brave leader she was, put her hands on her hips with determination and declared, "That's exactly why we should check it out. This is like a real adventure." Ben nodded with courage and said loyally, "I'm with Emma. We stick together, right?" The inside of the ice cream shop was even more magical than the outside. Ice cream scoops floated gently through the air like colorful butterflies. Rainbow-colored freezers hummed softly, and everything glowed with a warm, friendly purple and blue light. Behind the magical counter stood the most interesting person they had ever seen. His name was Mr. Frost, and he looked like a kind ghost with silver-white hair that flowed like mist around his face. He wore a beautiful purple vest with a silver bow tie, and his pale skin glowed softly like moonlight. Emma, Ben, and Riley stared with wide eyes at all the wonders around them. Mr. Frost smiled warmly and said in a gentle voice, "Welcome, welcome, brave young ones. I am Mr. Frost, keeper of the Midnight Scoop." Emma stepped forward curiously and asked, "Your shop just appeared out of nowhere. How is that possible?" Mr. Frost chuckled kindly and replied, "Magic happens on Halloween night, dear child. Would you like to try some very special ice cream?" Mr. Frost waved his hand, and suddenly a glowing menu appeared in the air like a beautiful rainbow. The words on the menu moved and sparkled, showing ice cream flavors with the most amazing names they had ever heard. Emma leaned forward excitedly to get a better look. Ben pointed at the floating menu with curiosity. Riley read each flavor name carefully, her eyes growing wider with wonder. Mr. Frost explained gently, "These are not ordinary flavors. Each one holds a special gift for those pure of heart." Riley gasped with delight. "Lightning vanilla? Boulder chocolate? These names are so cool!" Ben asked thoughtfully, "What do you mean by special gift, Mr. Frost?" The kind shopkeeper smiled mysteriously and answered, "Ah, curious Ben, you'll discover soon enough. Some gifts can only be understood by experiencing them yourself." The magical ice cream containers floated behind the counter, each one glowing with its own special color. Lightning vanilla sparkled with bright yellow light like tiny lightning bolts. Boulder chocolate swirled with warm orange and brown colors that looked strong and powerful. Mystic mint shimmered with beautiful purple and silver sparkles that seemed to dance in the air. Emma reached toward the lightning vanilla with excitement and said, "I'll try the lightning vanilla, please." Ben pointed at the Boulder chocolate with determination and declared, "Boulder chocolate sounds perfect for me." Riley chose carefully and announced, "Mystic mint for me. It's my favorite color." Mr. Frost smiled approvingly as he scooped each magical flavor. He handed them their special treats and said importantly, "Excellent choices. Now, eat quickly before the magic begins." As soon as the children tasted their magical ice cream, something wonderful started to happen. Emma felt tiny yellow sparkles dancing around her like little stars. She giggled and said, "Whoa! I feel all tingly and super energetic." Ben noticed his arms and legs feeling different, stronger somehow, with a warm orange glow growing around him. He flexed his muscles in amazement and exclaimed, "My muscles feel really strong all of a sudden." Riley looked down at her hands and gasped in wonder as they started to become see-through, with beautiful purple sparkles swirling around her. She whispered in awe, "Guys, look at my hands! They're getting see-through!" The magic was beginning, and all three friends could feel something amazing about to happen. A magic ice cream had given each child an incredible superpower. Emma suddenly felt faster than the wind. She zoomed around the ice cream shop so quickly that she left a trail of yellow sparkles behind her like a shooting star. She laughed with joy and called out, "I can run super fast! Look!" Ben discovered he was stronger than he ever imagined. He easily lifted the entire magical table with just one hand, orange light glowing around his muscles like warm sunshine. He cheered with amazement. "And I can lift this whole table with one hand." Riley found she could disappear completely, flickering between visible and invisible like a gentle purple ghost. She appeared and disappeared with delight, giggling, "I can turn completely invisible! This is amazing!" Mr. Frost watched them with kind, proud eyes and nodded approvingly. But then, his expression became more serious as he warned them gently, "Your powers will last until sunrise. But beware, great power comes with great responsibility." Just as the children were enjoying their new powers, something terrible was happening outside. Emma pressed her face against the magical window and gasped in shock. Ben pointed outside with wide, frightened eyes. Riley covered her mouth in surprise. Through the window, they could see that all the Halloween decorations had come to life, but not in a good way. Tall, scary skeleton pirates were marching through the streets, wearing green coats and green hats, with glowing green eyes that looked very mean. They were carrying big sacks and stealing candy from every house they passed. The leader was the biggest and scariest of all, Captain Bones. Emma cried out, "Wait! What's happening outside? Those decorations are moving!" Ben shouted in alarm, "Are those skeleton pirates?" Riley whispered fearfully, "They're taking candy from all the houses." From outside, they could hear Captain Bones laughing in a deep, scary voice. "Arr! More sweet treasure for Captain Bones and his crew!" Mr. Frost's expression became very serious as he looked out at the chaos in the streets. The magical lights in his shop seemed to dim with worry. Emma clenched her fists with determination, her face showing she was ready to help. Ben looked worried but brave, standing tall like the superhero on his shirt. Riley nodded with courage, knowing what they had to do. Mr. Frost explained sadly, "Captain Bones appears every few years to steal Halloween's joy. Only those with pure hearts and special powers can stop him." Emma stepped forward bravely and declared, "We have to help. All the kids will wake up with no candy." Ben looked uncertain and asked, "But we're just kids. Can we really fight skeleton pirates?" Riley put her hands on her hips confidently and announced, "We have powers now, and we have each other." The three friends looked at each other and knew they had to try to save Halloween for everyone. The brave children rushed outside to face the skeleton pirates, but they forgot something very important. They needed to work together. Emma zoomed off in one direction with her super speed, leaving yellow streaks behind her as she shouted, "I'll use my speed to grab the candy back." Ben ran off in another direction with his super strength, his muscles glowing orange as he called out, "And I'll use my strength to stop them." Riley tried to warn them as she started to turn invisible, crying, "Wait, we need a plan first." But it was too late. The skeleton pirates were ready for them. Captain Bones stood tall with his arms spread wide, his green coat flapping in the wind and his green eyes glowing meanly. He laughed in his scary voice. "Foolish children, you cannot stop the mighty Captain Bones." The pirates worked together like a team, while the children were all doing different things. It was not going well. The first battle did not go as the children had hoped. Emma sat on the ground, feeling frustrated, her yellow speed sparkles fading away. Ben dusted himself off, his orange strength glow getting dimmer. Riley became fully visible again, with a disappointed look on her face. They were spread out across the street, far apart from each other. In the background, the skeleton pirates continued stealing candy from the colorful Halloween decorations, and Captain Bones was laughing at them from a distance. Ben shook his head sadly and said, "That didn't work. They're too organized." Riley realized what went wrong and explained, "We were all doing different things. We need to work together." Emma nodded with understanding and agreed. "Riley's right. We're stronger as a team than alone." The three friends found a good hiding spot behind a big orange pumpkin decoration. The warm streetlight made their hiding place feel cozy and safe. Emma leaned forward eagerly, ready to listen to ideas. Ben nodded with understanding, finally realizing what they needed to do. Riley gestured as she explained her plan, her colorful braids bouncing as she talked. In the distance, they could still see the skeleton pirates stealing candy. But now the children had hope. Riley whispered her idea. What if Emma uses her speed to distract them while Ben moves the heavy candy bags? Ben's eyes lit up as he added, "And you could turn invisible to sneak around behind them." Emma smiled with excitement and declared, "Perfect! But we all moved together, like Mr. Frost said, as a team." Now the children were ready to work together like a real team. On the main street, the skeleton pirates had loaded their big green pirate ship with stolen candy bags. Emma zoomed past them in a bright yellow streak, moving so fast she looked like lightning. She called out teasingly, "Hey, boneheads, catch me if you can!" The skeleton pirates got confused and started chasing her, just like she wanted. Captain Bones pointed angrily at Emma with his bony finger and shouted, "After that speedy little pest!" Meanwhile, Ben was hiding behind the colorful Halloween decorations, ready to move when it was time. Riley had turned completely invisible. You could only see a tiny purple outline if you looked very carefully. She whispered so only Ben could hear, "Now, Ben." Their plan was working perfectly. While Emma led the skeleton pirates away toward the town fountain, Ben and Riley worked together to save the stolen candy. Ben used his amazing super strength to lift heavy bag after heavy bag, his muscles glowing bright orange as he carried them to safety. Riley stayed partially invisible, with purple sparkles shimmering around her as she guided Ben with hand gestures, showing him where to go. In the distance, Emma could be seen leading the confused pirates away in a yellow speed trail. Ben grunted as he lifted another pile of candy and said, "Got the first batch of candy. Riley, can you help guide me?" Riley, still mostly invisible, whispered back, "This way, Ben. Emma, lead them toward the fountain." Emma called back as she zoomed past, "On it! Follow me, you bony bullies!" Everything was going according to their plan. All the skeleton pirates had followed Emma to the beautiful town square fountain, which was surrounded by colorful Halloween decorations and golden autumn trees. Now it was time for the final showdown. Emma stood bravely, with her yellow energy glowing around her like sunlight. Ben flexed his muscles, with his orange strength shining bright. Riley flickered between visible and invisible, purple sparkles dancing around her like magic fairy dust. All three friends stood in a triangle, facing their enemy together. Captain Bones towered over them menacingly, his green coat billowing and his glowing green eyes looking very angry. His skeleton crew surrounded the fountain, but the children were not afraid anymore. Captain Bones roared, "Enough games! Surrender now or face the full fury of my crew." But Emma stood tall and declared, "Never. Halloween belongs to all the children." Ben stepped forward and added, "We won't let you steal their happiness." Riley appeared beside her friends and announced, "Together, we're unstoppable." The most amazing battle began. Emma ran so fast around the skeleton pirates that she created a massive yellow whirlwind, spinning like a tornado of light. The pirates got dizzy and confused, spinning around and around. She shouted as she ran, "Lightning speed attack!" Ben used his incredible strength to move heavy decorations and block all the escape routes, his orange aura glowing brighter than ever. He called out, "Boulder strength!" Riley appeared and disappeared all around the battlefield, confusing the pirates even more as they tried to figure out where she was. She giggled as she popped up in different places, saying, "Mystic surprise!" The skeleton pirates stumbled and bumbled, getting more and more mixed up. Candy bags flew through the air as the pirates dropped them. Captain Bones spun in the center of Emma's whirlwind, looking overwhelmed and dizzy. He could not believe what was happening and shouted, "Impossible! How can 3 small children be so powerful?" But the children's teamwork was stronger than his mean pirate crew. The battle was won. Emma stood triumphantly, her yellow aura starting to fade, but her smile shining brighter than ever. Ben flexed happily, his orange glow getting softer, but his pride growing stronger. Riley appeared fully visible with the biggest, most satisfied smile on her face. All around them, the defeated skeleton pirates were scattered and confused. Captain Bones was already starting to disappear in a cloud of green smoke. But he shook his fist angrily and threatened, "This isn't over. I'll return." The children had saved the day, but now there was candy scattered everywhere across the street. Riley looked around and said, "We did it! But look at all this scattered candy!" Ben rolled up his sleeves and declared, "Don't worry, I can carry it all back to the houses." Emma bounced with excitement and added, "And I can run fast enough to deliver it before anyone wakes up." Even in victory, they were thinking about others. The most wonderful part of their adventure began, giving back all the stolen candy. Emma zoomed between houses in bright yellow streaks, carefully placing candy bags back on porches where they belonged. Ben carried multiple heavy bags at once, his orange strength helping him deliver treats to house after house. Riley used her invisibility power to sneak candy back into children's trick-or-treat bags without waking anyone up. The whole neighborhood was peaceful and quiet, with jack-o'-lanterns glowing approvingly and colorful autumn leaves dancing gently in the breeze. As the soft pink and orange colors of dawn began to appear in the sky, their mission was nearly complete. Emma finished her last delivery and called out happily, "Last house done! Every trick-or-treat bag is full again." Ben wiped his hands with satisfaction and said, "We make a pretty good team." Riley appeared beside them with a warm smile and agreed, "The best team! Everyone will have a happy Halloween morning." As the first light of dawn filtered through the windows of the magical ice cream shop, the three tired but happy heroes returned to Mr. Frost. The shop was sparkling more brightly than ever, with purple and rainbow lights dancing everywhere. Emma looked tired but happy after their big adventure. Ben stood proudly with his hands on his hips like a real superhero. Riley smiled warmly, feeling good about what they had accomplished. Mr. Frost clapped his hands together approvingly, his silver-white hair flowing like gentle mist around his kind face. The floating ice cream decorations seemed to dance with joy. Mr. Frost beamed with pride and said, "Well done, young heroes! You've learned the most important lesson of all." Emma asked curiously, "What's that, Mr. Frost?" The wise shopkeeper smiled and replied, "That together you can overcome any challenge. Your friendship is the greatest magic of all." As the beautiful sunrise painted the sky with pink and orange colors, something bittersweet began to happen. Emma felt her yellow speed aura fading away like gentle sparkles in the morning breeze. Ben watched his orange strength glow disappear peacefully like a warm sunset. Riley became completely solid again as her purple invisibility sparkles danced away like tiny butterflies. But none of them felt sad, because they had learned something much more important than magic powers. Through the shop window, They could see Mr. Frost watching them with love and pride. The magical shop itself was becoming see-through and dreamy, preparing to disappear until it was needed again. Ben smiled peacefully and said, "I can feel my strength going back to normal." Riley nodded contentedly and added, "My invisibility is fading too." Emma grinned and declared, "And I'm not super speedy anymore, but that's okay." From inside the fading shop, Mr. Frost called out gently, "The powers were temporary, but what you've learned will last forever." The time had come to say goodbye to their magical friend. The ice cream shop was becoming more and more see-through, like a beautiful dream fading in the morning light. Emma waved goodbye with tears of joy in her eyes, so grateful for the amazing adventure. Ben gave a respectful salute to the kind shopkeeper who had helped them become heroes. Riley blew kisses toward the shop, her heart full of love and gratitude. Mr. Frost stood in his doorway, waving back as he and his wonderful shop became more like mist and starlight. Golden sunlight streamed through the autumn trees, and the peaceful neighborhood was waking up to a perfect Halloween morning. Magical sparkles floated gently in the air like fairy dust. Mr. Frost called out one last time, "Until we meet again, remember, the strongest magic is the love between friends." Riley asked hopefully, "Will we see you again next Halloween?" Mr. Frost smiled mysteriously and replied, "Perhaps, if other children need heroes like you." Emma waved one more time and called out, "Thank you for everything, Mr. Frost." The three best friends walked home together as the sun rose fully in the sky, painting everything with beautiful golden light. Emma skipped happily down the peaceful street, her orange ribbons bouncing in her auburn curls. Anne walked with a confident stride, his red cape flowing behind him like a real superhero. Riley danced between her two best friends, her blonde braids and colorful beads sparkling in the sunlight. All around them, the Halloween decorations looked peaceful and friendly in the morning light. Autumn trees with red and orange leaves whispered softly in the gentle breeze. Birds sang sweet songs overhead, and children's candy beds sat safely on porches, waiting for happy surprises. The whole neighborhood felt warm and cozy and full of love. Ben stretched and said, "That was the most amazing Halloween ever." Emma bounced with excitement and added, "And we saved everyone's candy. I can't wait to see their happy faces." Riley hugged both her friends and declared, "We really did make a great team. Best friends forever." In her cozy bedroom filled with orange and purple decorations, Emma slept peacefully after her magical adventure. Her curly auburn hair was loose and soft on her pillow, and she wore bright orange pajamas covered with purple stars. Colorful stuffed animals watched over her, and Halloween decorations on her walls seemed to smile down with approval. Golden morning sunlight streamed through her window, showing the beautiful autumn trees outside. Dreamy sparkles floated gently around her room, and a warm smile rested on her sleeping face. In her dreams, Emma remembered the important lesson from their adventure. Dream Emma whispered softly, "When we work together and help others, we can do anything. That's the real magic." And in her dream, she could hear Mr. Frost's gentle voice saying, "Yes, dear Emma. Kindness and friendship are the greatest powers in the world." High up in a magical dream world made of soft, fluffy white clouds, Ben and Riley met in their sleep. Ben, wearing bright blue pajamas with a red cape pattern, floated peacefully on a cloud like a gentle superhero. Riley, in her bright yellow nightgown, decorated with purple moons and stars, floated nearby with her blonde hair loose and flowing like silk. All around them, soft rainbow colors painted the sky, and gentle sparkles danced like fireflies. Tiny floating ice cream scoops and miniature Halloween decorations bobbed happily in their dream space. Mr. Frost appeared as a warm, glowing spirit, his kind smile watching over them. The sky showed a peaceful sunrise with pink and orange colors, just like the real morning outside their windows. In the dream, Ben said thoughtfully, "I learned that being strong isn't just about muscles. It's about being there for your friends." Riley nodded wisely and added, "And I learned that even when we feel invisible or small, we can make a big difference." Mr. Frost's spirit smiled lovingly and reminded them, "Remember, children, the best adventures happen when we face our fears together and help those in need." And so, the three brave friends learned that the most powerful magic of all is friendship, kindness, and helping others. Every Halloween night, if you listen carefully, you might hear the gentle sound of Mr. Frost's ice cream shop appearing somewhere in the world, ready to help new young heroes learn the same beautiful lesson. Sweet dreams, little ones.